Live. There we are. Let's get it. Ooh, I don't want that color. Let's get the yellow going again. There we go. My guy. How we doing? Doing good. Doing good. How are you doing? How's your weekend going, man? How is your weekend going? We are live. Dialed in. Patrick is locked. Patrick's locked in. Is that ACO? What's going on? Haven't been live in a couple days, so good to be back. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Sadly but surely, very good. Going very good, very good. What is this? Live visibility. Your live is on and is may validate authentic appeal. Okay, that's weird. I don't know. Divine. Oh, okay, that's what it is. I saw the name Divine Timing. Okay, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. For the first time, I know we've been going back and forth on Instagram, so welcome to the stream on actual stream. Sam, what's up? God bless you, sir. God bless you as well, Sam. I'm here. What's going on? What's good, Ahmed? How's it going? Are you recording on YouTube too? Yeah, so all the live streams get recorded on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch and Kick as well. So you really I stream on all of it. So TikTok, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, all of it. But all the live streams do get recorded on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch it on YouTube, feel free to go check that out. Yeah, look at that. Look, I mean, it's definitely kind of doing what I thought it was going to do. Let me get it all on the chart here. Wouldn't it be fun? No, I just think it would be funny. Wouldn't it be funny if like this drawing actually played out to a T? That would be. Thanks for having me, brother. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm back from Dubai. What's going on? How is Dubai? How is Dubai? Hope you. I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing bunch of stuff on the internet. I've never personally been, but how was Dubai? How was it? Bill, what's up, my man? What's going on? We doing crypto or stocks? I mean, honestly, I'm down to do either. Honestly, we can look at either. I don't have a preference. I know I posted a video of Robinhood recently, and then SoFi for some market analysis. But I just feel like it's a standard for us to start with Bitcoin. If I'm being honest, right? I mean, it kind of only makes sense, right? Like we always start every stream with Bitcoin, and I think we should keep it like that. I really do. I think we should keep it with Bitcoin, and then maybe we look at some other charts along the way. But it would be hilarious because we drew this structure like I don't know what was this last week. Last week I think we drew the structure. What if price like actually did this exact movement? That would be hilarious. It won't, but it'd be funny if it did. Go. That's it. That's it. That is it. You know what's so funny? I was getting a lot of comments on some of the because I take all my stuff from TikTok and then I put it on YouTube Shorts and just kind of post it, across all different platforms. I was getting so many comments on the YouTube Shorts saying, now it's their own opinion. Again, I don't try to convince anyone. I just kind of put out what I put out, and you can take with it what you want. And if it's in agreement with what you want, great. If not, whatever. But I just find it so funny when people will come in and comment, oh, that's a ridiculous analysis, or that doesn't make any sense. Okay, why? Like, give me a reasoning why, and let's debate. Let's talk about it. But they never do. It's all just negativity for nothing. They just posted in there, oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, why? Nothing. No response. Ghost. Okay, thank you, bot. Looks like we got a C wave right now. What's up, Nick? What's going on, Ivan? How are you doing? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, agreed. I know you're doing this sarcastically, but yeah, the YouTube Shorts sometimes crack me up. Okay, but nonetheless, we are getting it looks to be very impulsive down, which is a great start. What I'm curious to see happen now is, when do we get this pullback and then, the final drop? I do think I could be wrong. I could be wrong because when does Powell speaks the 18th? So that's next Wednesday, which is going to be a volatile week. It always is. Every FOMC week is always a volatile week. So what would be... Oh, T, what's going on, T? How are you? Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. What's going on? So what would be interesting to me is, do we get this wave 1 into this week, wave 2 later in the week, and then we get the wave 4 next, or wave 3 next week during Powell? That would be interesting to me because Powell, those FOMCs always drive volatility. So it's going to get choppy depending on what he says or what their interest rate decision does. Could this fuel the fire for this wave 3? Possible. But until we get some price action, we're kind of just watching it. You are uploading crypto stuff on Instagram or TikTok? Both. I do both. So I know ACO, aka Divine Timing, is in here from YouTube. We go back and forth all the time on Instagram, but I post it X or Twitter X. I post on Instagram, TikTok, and then YouTube Shorts. My first long form YouTube video I'm gonna do tomorrow. So that I've had some construction crew in the house just going through. We've had a leak in the house, so they had to patch everything up. So it just takes so long to get that stuff done, which has been causing a lot of noise in the house. So I haven't been able to do any sort of long-term YouTube content during the day, but I'm hoping to do my first one tomorrow. I don't think they're going to be here for that long, but my first long-form YouTube content I'm going to be doing either tomorrow or Tuesday. When you start into it, could you analyze where wave 1 could end? Could you analyze where wave 1 could end and wave to retrace? I mean, we could. So we can jump to the 4-hour and see. Typically there's sort of rules around it. Let me go to the daily just so everything's in the chart. There's kind of rules around it, but they're more speculative than they are kind of concrete in that sense. Basically, you can typically see a retrace for wave 1 between the 0.68 and the 0.786 of the wave 4. So basically, we could see, a bounce here at 65 or 62, and then, we kind of retrace up. But they're more loose rules than anything. It just really depends on how price kind of unfolds over the next couple days. You'll see it on the chart because these are daily candles. What you'll see is similar to oh wait, let me get it in the chart. You'll see something similar to this. So you'll get this wave 1, and then you'll get this 3-wave structure, which you'll be able to see on the chart. It's not really visible right now, but if we go to the 4-hour, even the 4-hour still doesn't really show too much. It just looks like we're still impulsive. It almost looks like we have a wave 1, a wave 2, kind of a wave 3, but that would be too short. So maybe a wave 1, a wave 2, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in the 5 of 3. Then we'll get a pullback 4, and then another 5th to complete the wave 1. That kind of looks like the structure right now, because you almost have this initial wave 1, wave 2, and then the wave 3 looks extended. So we have a 1, 2, 3, this 4, and then we're in the 5th of 3, and then we'll get a 4 and then a 5 to complete this 1. And then once that happens, we'll get the ABC pullback. That's from at least the initial price action we have. That's kind of what I'm thinking, just based on what it looks like. It looks like we have a 1, 2, we should fill at 3 here, 4, and then 5, and then that will complete the wave 1, and then we'll get a pullback too. So it's still early. Don't rush into it. Just kind of wait. Honestly, just wait until the price action comes about, and we can make decisions there. I'm not really looking to do anything short term on this. I'm not looking to buy or sell right now. I'm still waiting for the 3. So how far down do you think? So my targets are still, let me move this into frame. My targets are still between the 1 and the 1.618, which is 60 to 50K. That's still my zone. I think what'll probably happen, we'll probably, go to maybe 62, then get a bounce to maybe 66. Then we'll go down to, maybe 50, 5, get a bounce up to like 60 something, and then get one more retrace to like 52. Again, these are all speculative prices, but something like that where we get, this to me looks like the initial one. We should get a 2, then we'll get a 3, and then a 4 and a 5. But 60 to 50K is still my zone. T said, I'm well. Hope you're also, yeah, doing well. It's rainy here in Georgia today, so it's not perfect, but it's still warm. I'm able to wear a t-shirt, which is nice. Nick 5, can it be truncated? Yeah, I mean, the way 5 can be, it doesn't necessarily have to go to the 1.618, which is the typical target. Like, this is where price really does like to go for the wave 5, but we could go to, be a truncated 5 where, let's see, hold on. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. I mean, from how we're looking right now with this wave 1, say we get a wave 1 to like 63, and then we get a wave 2 to like, I don't know, 69. The next target would be 53. So this wave 1 is actually going down pretty far. So I don't think we'll get a truncated 5. I don't think we'll get something like this. That's too shallow. That's too shallow from how explosive this 1 is. I mean, look at how far this 1 has already went. If we had like a wave 1 here, and then a 2, and then a 3, and then a 4, and then a 5, sure, we could get a truncated 5th, but from the price action right now, it doesn't seem like that. I think April will be bottom. Yeah, possibly, because this is going to take time to develop. Like this whole, I mean, you could see so far, just in this wave 1, we've had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's still, what, an hour left to this candle, so then we'll get a 5. So this has gone on for, 4 or 5 days, and then if you put that together, right, this is 4 or 5 days, call it 7 days, right? We'll call it a week for the wave 1, maybe another week for the wave 2, a week for the wave 3, a week for this, and a week for that. I mean, again, it's all speculative, but March to April, I think, does seem like a good bottoming zone, just based on the structure right now. Bought a little Aerodyne finance today. I'm waiting to dip my toes in VeChain and EOS. I haven't bought any yet. I'm waiting for this move to finish, and then once we bottom here, or at least like we get the 3 and the 4, that's probably when I'll start buying some EOS and VeChain. I read the Elliott Wave book. It makes sense now. There you go, Kush. I love it. I'm happy to hear it. You get what I mean, though, right? Like, once you read the book, again, it's a short book. It's like 100 pages, so you can knock it out pretty quickly. But once you read the book, it becomes so much more clear. You look at the chart, you're like, wow, this is like eye-opening. So I'm glad that it's helping. And again, it's like $10, so it's not going to break the bank. But could be a bottom now at 65, 64 and bounce to 72. So here's the thing. Now that we've kind of had some price action here, which looks to be a wave 1, price can't retrace higher than the start of wave 1. So it can't cross over this Y, which would mean price can't retrace over 74,000. That's our next zone. Is if price was to come here and bounce above 74, that means that this isn't the start of wave 1 and there's further correction on. If we get a bounce somewhere to like 70 and then dump, then for me, that's the wave 1, 2, and then 3, if that makes sense. What's Powell? Who's Powell? Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, the FOMC guy. Jerome Powell. But it sounds like Pow. I'm just thinking of the one movie, 21 Jump Street, where he's like, are you saying Pow or Pow? Shaman said, hey, I missed your live. Well, no, you didn't miss it. We're on it right now. I missed your live in turn. Okay, I get it. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. But yeah, we're back. This might go till end of year to make us wait. I mean, this is for me, this is like a short 5-wave move. I don't see it going till end of year. Let's see. Is it gonna entry in 72? I think I'm confused by the question. Patrick said juice time. Paul said sounds good. What's your time frame on your theory? These are the daily candles. This is what it looks like on the monthly. So on the monthly, this is sort of what I have next for the monthly. I have, and it could change. This is something that, I don't know, I think T's still in the chat here, but this is something that T and I were going back and forth on in the comment. We're not going back and forth, we're just discussing. So right now, right, we have a 5-wave move. Overdrew it, hold on. We have a 5-wave move followed by this ABC corrective. Now, what comes next after a 3-wave move is a 5-wave move like this. That's essentially my base case off of these lows, is we get a 5-wave move and my target's 200. Basically, the reason behind my target being 200 is you have a 5-wave move, a wave 2, and then you have a wave 3, which comes in the form of another 5-wave move. The only, not challenge, the only caveat to that is what happens off of these lows. Let me get a fresh Bitcoin chart. Hold on, let me go to, I don't think there's any, oh, that was the one we drew on last time. Let me go to the spot crypto. Okay, so this is a fresh chart. Fresh Bitcoin chart. Now, let me zoom in on it, hold on. Now, the only change to this is what happens when we bottom. So for me, the bottom comes 60 to 50K. We were just on it on the daily time frame, and that for me is coming between 60 to 50K. This expanding flat wave C has one more leg to go, and that for me is the bottom. Now, what comes next is really going to be what, how do I say this? What comes next is going to determine if we go to 200K or if further corrections on table. So if we get a 3-wave move off of the low, let me draw that better. If we get a 3-wave move off of the low, that's not good, because then what comes into play is something like this. Hold on. So let me draw everything. So you have the wave 1, the wave 2, the 3, the 4, and then the 5. Okay, now, say for example, price does this. And then after this, then we get a 3. This will essentially be the structure then. It'll kind of be what we have right now in the wave forward. You'll have a W down here, then you have an X up here, and then a Y. So that would be just like the worst case scenario, but it is plausible. It can happen. So this would essentially be the wave 2. And what do I mean by that is, hold on, move this. So this would essentially, let me try to get everything in here. So if this happens, if this scenario happens, this is what you have. Let me turn the magnet off. You have this as the wave 1, this is the wave 2, then we get the wave 3 next. And then then let me just move this out of here. So if this is what happens off of these lows, if we get a 3-wave move like that, then you get something like this, where you have this being the wave 1, this the wave 2, and then we would target 300, and then you would get a move like this. You would get, you know, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. So that is something that is on the table. That's not off the table. It is entirely possible. But my base case is not that, just because we've been correcting for so long. I don't necessarily see that happening. And it would be something special if that happened. Like if we were to go, you know, turn this into this WXY formation, I mean, that could be, because this whole correction right here, this whole ABC expanding flat has gone on for more than a year. So then you would have like almost a 4-year correction. Almost, you would have like this ABC move, then you would have this ABC move, then you would have an ABC move down, and that could take, you know, that would be from 2025, like January of 2025, all the way to whatever this structure, however long it takes to complete. That's not my base case scenario. My base case scenario is, because we've been correcting for so long, is we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, then we have the ABC, and then we get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off of the low, and my target for that's 200K. Now it can change. Again, the only thing that's going to be able to determine what comes next is what happens off of these lows. So once this move comes into play, hold on, let me get it into. Once this happens, right, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move that I've been talking about now for, I don't know, past month or whatever. once this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move happens, then we should see the explosive moves off. If we get an ABC corrective move, then further corrections on the table. Yeah, comparing with MSTR, it aligns up with the price target you talked about. Yeah, MSTR, if you want to look at one that's really clean as far as Elliott Wave Theory goes, Robinhood is a really clean example of it. Thank you for your advice. Absolutely. As long as we don't go past 74K, we are still in play for another move down, right? Yeah, correct. So given that this is... Yes and no. So the reason I say that is because this could also be just further correction. So I don't want it to be like this, but you have an ABCW, you have an ABCX, then you have an ABCY. Then we could also have another ABC move like this, and then another ABC move, and then another ABC move. Again, that would just be like a super complex, choppy 4. But the way that price action looks right now on the 4 hour, it does look like we have this impulsive down, which is great because after this, then we'll get a bounce, then we'll get a drop, then another bounce, then a drop, and then boom, correction's done, and then we can move on with our lives and stop worrying about more corrections. When do we use WXY? It's really just a term. It's not like, you know, some super fancy technical thing. The only reason it's called the WXY is because you get, it's a way to label it. So instead of labeling it a ABC and then an ABCB and then an ABCC, because then all the ABCs get all conjoined. Basically, you have a 3-wave move in the W, a 3-wave move in the X, and then a 3-wave move in the Y. And instead of putting something like this on the chart where you have an A, B, and then a C, and then it's like of wave A, you put a W. That's the only reason that it's a WXY. It's just a complex correction. That's the only reason. Yeah, I mean, so far we're trending pretty good, which is really nice. It's nice to see that we're kind of moving in the direction that I thought we would move, which is really nice. But I'm just going to be so happy when this thing finishes. It's going to be great. But until, I mean, I'll show you a really clean example though. So like Robinhood, it is like picture perfect Elliott Wave Theory. This is, for me, this is when I'm looking to invest, this is kind of what I want to see on charts. Because when you have really clean wave movements like this, it just makes, you just have a higher confluence of like what the chart wants to do next. And with Robinhood, I mean, we have such a clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. I mean, it's just so easy to see on the chart. MSTR is the same way too. Now for me, we're just kind of waiting for this ABC move to be complete. On the weekly, it does look pretty clean, honestly, on the weekly. If you go to like Robinhood on the weekly, you have, can you see this? Yeah, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, a wave 2, then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 3, a wave 4, and then you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move here, and then you have this A, B, and then C correction. Like Robinhood to me is just such a clean example of Elliott Wave Theory. It is truly incredible how picture perfect this is. But I don't know if that helps or not. Is there any, let me see. I'm trying to think of what other stocks we could look at. I mean, Robinhood looked pretty good. Bitcoin looked pretty good. MSTR looks pretty good. It's kind of just a waiting period right now. If I'm being honest. There's nothing really changed. Another one that I was looking at, which is kind of clean, because we had some chart requests for it, was SoFi. So SoFi was pretty clean as well. Not the only issue with it, because we've kind of already had an almost 5-wave move. We've already had a wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then we're approaching the 5. But as long as price doesn't retrace lower than this wave 1 at 1650, this is still valid. So I hope that clears up some stuff. Hold on, I'm having some difficulty. There's like a bunch of stuff popping up on my TikTok live right now. It's saying I have to restart it on my computer. If you guys are in here, I'm gonna end the live and then restart it. Just give me 2 seconds. It's giving me like all these like not warning signs, but all this stuff on my TikTok live on the PC. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to restart it. I'll be right back. For those of you on YouTube, don't worry about it. It's something on TikTok Live right now is like, it's giving me a bunch of crap on it. So give me 2 seconds. Delete. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. It's giving me a bunch of like things on TikTok Live. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. But Kush, how are you, since you've done the book, have you used it in terms of like practicing and seeing what it's all about? Canvas, ticker, put that on there. Okay. There we go. If you're, comparing with MSCI lines with my price, yeah, okay. I think this should be fine now. I don't know why I was giving me all this stuff. All right, hopefully everyone joins back. All right, we're back up. We're back up. I don't know what that was all about. All right, now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah, welcome back. Sorry about that. Whatever, TikTok Live was giving me a bunch of things on the screen. Got it working again. Yeah, we're back up and right. I don't know. There was like all these things on the screen that were like flashing, and I was like, all right, let me restart this thing. I think it was my PC. I don't know what was going on with it, but we're back. We're back. No worries. I couldn't see all the comments in the corner, so that was why I was like, all right, let me just restart it real quick. So we're back now. So I appreciate the patience with that. For whatever reason, it wasn't working. But what do you guys want to look at? What do you guys want to look at today? I mean, Bitcoin, it's moving nicely. It's moving nicely. I'm very, I guess, happy and confident in the analysis that we've been doing on live streams and just in general. Like, this thing is moving pretty clean. Okay. On the 4 hour, I mean, it looks pretty clean too. Like, if we look at the 4 hour, it kind of looks like we have one more leg down, which is nice. Okay. Give me 2 seconds here. All good. Let's get back to rocking and rolling. Yeah, agreed. 100%. You think XRP goes below $1? Solana maybe targets for the 5. Yeah, we can look at Solana for sure. Yeah, XRP. I had a little bit more downside on XRP, if I'm being honest. I had like a little bit more of a retrace on it, and the reason behind that was just, I mean, there could be a little bit shorter term pullback, you know, with just Bitcoin pulling back, but my next target's like $6 on XRP. So I think the risk to reward right now is like almost a 6x, which is perfect. Okay, so let's go to the daily. The only problem with, not problem, but some of these, not all the charts show this, but some of these charts have these big liquidation candles, which just throw, Aiden, what's going on, Aiden? How are you? It just gives like this weird structure, like this, you know, liquidation candle here. It just provides not a lot to work off of. But I do think we see one more dip lower. The reason behind is mainly Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now I have dropping to 60 to 50K. So when that comes, like, we're going to have one more dip for a lot of altcoins, and we'll probably get one more retrace, maybe to $1, maybe you know, kind of close to this. What was that? February's lows, you know, somewhere maybe around $1, between $1 and like $1, I don't know, 10 maybe, somewhere in this range. But the next move after that, once it bottoms, is $6. So I'm very excited about XRP. I bought down here like 50 cents, so I'm just holding right now. I don't think I see those on stock as much as I have seen on crypto. Huge liquidation candles. Yeah, it's mainly like the altcoins. I don't see it on Bitcoin. It's mainly altcoins. I don't even think Ethereum had that. But a lot of these altcoins had like these huge, just massive liquidation candles that immediately got, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. It was like a weird day for crypto in October. Like, these altcoins shot down 30-40% in like a matter of a couple hours. And I was like, this is weird. Like, this just doesn't seem right. But it is what it is. We'll take with what we got. So yeah, so with Solana, let me go to the weekly again. With Solana, let me get it in the chart. With Solana, again, my next targets are 530. We've already had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, and we're in the ABC. And now of the ABC, it does look, again, similar to Bitcoin. Like on Solana, we don't have these liquidation candles, which is weird. But on some of the other ones, we did. Like on these other altcoins, we did. But we have this massive A wave, B wave, and then we're in the C wave. And then of the C wave, it looks very similar. Like we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then we're in the 5th. I do think we get one more leg lower for Solana. Like my targets for that were, let me zoom in a little bit more on this. Give me a second. My targets for this on Solana for this, and again, like this structure looks very similar to Bitcoin, right? It's just this choppy structure. My next targets on Solana have always been like the 67 to 50 range. That was where I saw this next wave down between like 67 to 50. And then after that, it's 530. October 10th crash. Yeah, was that yeah, that was the October 10th. I remember that day and everything was down like 30-40%. It was crazy. What do you think about charting Elliott Wave with total 3? We could jump into that, Donnie. We can definitely jump into that for sure. T said, could you tell me how high you see XDC and Constellation DAG? I think I'm familiar with Constellation DAG. Yeah, we can let's look at total 3, then we'll go to XDC and then Constellation. That I think seems like a good plan. So let's go back to total 3. Let's go to total 3. This is the one excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Yeah, okay. I think this was from last chart. Let me clear up all this stuff. Start from scratch. I don't know what this line is up here for. I don't really know why. Let's go to total 3. Okay, so this almost kind of looks like Ethereum's chart. Like if you look at Ethereum, I wish I could overlay it. I don't know how to do that, but this looks like Ethereum's chart almost. You have, let me see. I mean, look at that. That's cool. So total 3 for this being the wave 1, wave 2, the wave 3. Total 3 topped out right at the 2.618, which is let me move the numbers on the other side, on the left side. So it topped out right at the 2.618, which is incredible. And that's kind of where you see wave 3's top. You top between the 1.618 and the 2.618, somewhere in that range. And for this being the wave 1, wave 2, and then the wave 3 topping out there makes sense. So we're kind of in the wave 5 of total 3. Now the only question is, where does that top, right? We have the 1, the 2, the 3. Well, actually, wait, this can't be a 4. Hold on. Well, it could possibly. Let's go to the weekly. See, that can't be. That can't be. So this, I mean, there are rare cases where it can be, but it does enter the territory of wave 1. So let's go to the daily. I just want to see on the daily time frame, like where this thing, because you almost have this wave 1, wave 2, maybe wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5 up. And then price does retrace into this zone. So that's the only problem with this. There are rare cases of it. Well, this is this candle. So maybe it tops here. And then this was a B wave. And then we had this. That could be the case. So considering this being a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in the 5. I want to see where this... I mean, technically the next target is 1.65 trillion. That's sort of the next target on total 3. But let's see on the weekly what the structure looks like. So this is the weekly from the bottom. This, we almost have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a wave 1 through 5 right here. 5. So that's a wave 1. But this can't be a wave 1, 2, and a 3 because this pulls back into the territory of wave 1, and this can't be a 5. So, I mean, this is definitely a 1 through 5 move. That's for sure. We have a 1 through 5 move here with a pullback. So you could say that's a wave 1, wave 2. And then it almost looks like we have a 1, and then this is a massive 2. We should get a 3, 4, 5 of the 3. So what is that target then? $1.26 would be the next target for the wave 3, because this can't be a 3 and a 4 and a 5. So then if this is another wave 1, then the next target's 1.7. That would make sense. Because the only problem with this is, like, there's too many overlapping waves with it, which makes it a challenge. Like, this definitely right here is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's for sure. So this could be a wave 1. This could be a wave 2. It's just this structure right here that is very hard to determine what's next. It's just not very clean. Could you call it the entire move is a 1, 2, and 4, and we in the 4 now for the total 3? No, because then you would need, like, if this was an entire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, then this, like, you can't have it. The only possible flat that you can have is an expanding flat, which is what Bitcoin is, and price can't go over the if I can get it, the 1.618 fib retracement of wave A for the wave B. So this can't be a B wave. So you can have this be a wave 1, A wave, B wave, and then a C wave. That can't happen because this has already went above the rules. This is definitely a 5-wave move, that's for sure. So I think we have a wave 1, a 2, and then we're in the 3, and it looks like we have a 1, 2, we should get a 3, 4, 5 of the 3, then a corrective 4, and then a 5. So I think this actually looks to be an extended 3rd wave. That's the only way that I can put it, because there's really no other explanation. This is definitely an ABC move, that's for sure. And let's just make sure. And this goes below, is below the 1.618. So this is definitely an A. Oh, let me get this out of the way. So this move right here is kind of like Bitcoin in the sense that we have an ABC move down, an ABC move up, and then it looks like we have an ABC move down. So this to me is just a corrective wave, which means actually altcoins should have some big explosive moves, because this is a 1, a 2, and then we have a 1, 2, we should get a 3, 4, 5 of a 3rd wave. So essentially, that's really good for altcoins. An extended 3rd wave is really nice. So the next target for altcoins for the total 3 is, we'll probably get a lower dip on here, is 1.75 trillion. That's the next target for for the wave 3. And what we'll kind of have is something like this. So we had a wave 1, a wave 2. So that's already confirmed. Then we have a 1, 2. Then we'll get a 3, 4, and then 5. That's essentially what's next for altcoins, is we get an explosive 3 wave, then we get a 4, and then a 5. And that will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's essentially what's next. So you'll have this being a 1, this being a 2, if I can get it down there. The 3 should come around 1.75 trillion, then we'll get a pullback 4, and then a 5. That's essentially what's next for total 3. Is this right here. We're in the 3, and then we should get basically a 3, 4, 5 for the wave 3. So we'll have a wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and that will be of the 3rd wave. Then we'll get a 4th wave, and then we'll get a 5th wave. That's essentially what's next for altcoins. That's the only explanation based on that price action. There's really nothing else that you can put that into without forcing it into a box. I don't know what that comment is referring to. I think you're being sarcastic there. I'll take that as sarcasm, but no, this is not the suicide hotline. No, I think that's being sarcastic. So I hope that's sarcasm. I hope so. Can't call it 3. So that's kind of what's next. Let's go to, what was the next one? XDC. Let's go to XDC. Which, looking at that chart right there for total 3, actually looks really good for altcoins. XDC. I just want to make sure I'm getting one with like the most price action. Does this kind of look like the chart for XDC? Am I on the right one? Does that kind of look like what the chart is? T, if you're still in here, is that sort of the chart for XDC? Does that look right? It's referring to the bags I'm holding since 2021. That's what I thought you were doing. That's what I thought it was. I just wanted to make sure. It's around 0.3. Oh wait, this is on a logarithmic. I can't. How do I put the price here? The current price. Let me see if I can. Can I put the current? So right now the token's trading at 0.031586. Joe said, definitely appreciate you and all the information. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I try to do my best here. Perfect. Yeah, so I think this is the, because it's right at 0.032. That total 3 was solid, man. Great job. I appreciate that, Donnie. Yeah, that's, for me, that's the next logical explanation for the total 3. I can't really see it any other way, like trying to fit it into certain, like you could say like, oh, this is a one. No, because the rules are broken. So abiding by the rules, it gives you some structure. I do think that altcoins have a lot more to go, and I think a lot of people are underestimating what altcoins are going to do. Just looking at the total 3, I mean, an extended 3rd wave means really big things for altcoins, which I'm excited for. It's taking a lot of patience, but we should see some explosive moves. Okay, so XDC, we definitely have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for XDC. So that's great to see. This, to me, is just a wave 2, and it's a complex correction. It almost looks like we have an A wave, then we have an A, B, C of a B wave, and then we're in an A, B, C wave now. So let me draw this out. So we have a wave 1, a wave 2, and then a wave 3. Let me move this actually over. Let me move that over there. So wave 2, and then let me get it all in the chart. So this is our wave 1. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1. We're in the 2, and then we should get a 3. Now let's see what the next target is for the 3. I'm assuming XDC does pull back a little bit further, because this to me looks just like a complex correction wave 2. Everything overlaps. There's just a lot of, it just kind of choppy, right? There's really not a lot of impulse. But it looks like we have a wave A consisting of like an A, B, C, A, a B, and then an A, B, C, C, which would be, all that to be said, that's a wave A. Actually, technically speaking, we have a wave A, a wave B, and then we're in the wave C of 2. Now, there's still probably a little bit more downside. We'll jump into this on the daily just to see kind of what's next. But looking at this chart right here, assuming we get a little bit lower, you know, maybe we come down to this level right here. I'd have to look at the daily chart to see. But say we come down to like, I don't know, 23 cents. The next target for XDC, assuming we retrace to 23 cents, we'll dive into it on the daily chart just to see, is 33, almost 34 cents at the 1.618. I'll zoom in on these numbers real quick so you can see them. The next target for me is the 1.618 at 0.338. Can also extend to the 2, which is at 0.4. So given this whole structure, the next zone is basically 34 cents to 40 cents. That's the next zone for XDC, given that we have this structure right here. And we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have an A wave, a B wave, and we're in the C wave. And then we'll get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up towards the 1.618 at 33 cents. Sorry, my cat is on my keyboard. No worries, Aiden, no problem. Perfect. Can you analyze Bitcoin wave structure? Yeah, we can jump into Bitcoin for sure. If you want to overlay coins or structure, hit the plus in the top left and then type in a coin and then hit add. Huh. Thank you, Donnie. I did not know that. Okay, well, food for thought. Food for thought. I didn't know about that. But yeah, so looking at it on the daily, let's see. That is useful information because I didn't know how to do that. Looking at this on the daily now, there's that liquidation candle back in, well, that one was in January of 2025. We had a big liquidation candle, but it looks like we have this A wave, B wave, and then we're in the C wave. Now, of the C wave, that's a weird looking, hold on. I'm just trying to get all the price action into the screen. All right, I think I got everything in there. This is a weird, I was going to say this was a wave 1, wave 2 with a wave 3, 4, and a 5, but this doesn't even look impulsive at all. It just looks like a bunch of just chop. So what the fuck is that? That's just a bunch of just, it literally just looks like the price is ping-ponging all the way down. So I can't really consider that a 1. I mean, you could technically, but that don't look clean at all. The first impulsive wave, this almost looks like a wave A. That is weird price action. See, this is why I try to trade like larger tokens and stuff. I mean, XTC looks clean. It's just this price action really is just so choppy. And I mean, even this is choppy, and then we have some more chop. I do think we still see a little bit lower on XTC just following the greater Bitcoin market. So a little bit more downside on XTC just makes sense with the Bitcoin downside, but the next target's around 34 cents. And then the other one was Constellation DAG, right? That was the other one? What's the symbol for that? Is it just DAG? Yeah, okay. I think that's the chart. Let me put it, yeah. That is it like 1 cent right now? Is it 1 cent? Is that what DAG's at right now? 1 cent? Because if that's the case, then this is the one. Yes, okay. Yes, 0.0, okay. Yeah, 1 cent. Okay, yeah, so this is the chart. Okay, well, we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Well, my writings. Give me a second. Just so I have a little bit more clean. So we do have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. Now, That's a wave one. Then we have this A wave. Then we have an A, B, C, B wave. And then we're in the C wave now. Let's go to the weekly. This is a little bit cleaner. Like this is an A wave. Then we have this B wave. Then we have an A wave, B wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, we're definitely in a C wave, that's for sure. We're definitely in the like final correction. I do think we see maybe a little bit more downside on DAG. That again, that's just following Bitcoin in general. That's just, hey, if Bitcoin goes down 5-10%, a lot of other altcoins are also going to go down. But using this structure, I mean, we do have a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have this A wave, B wave, and then we're in the C wave. How much of this wave have we retraced already? Oh yeah, we retraced pretty far. That's interesting how we bounce off the 0.786 here on the reverse. But using this structure, I think we get a little bit more downside, maybe like 0.008. 0.009, somewhere around there. You know, we retrace a little bit more. What would be that multiple on that? 0.009, 0.74 divided by 0.009. That's an 82x? What the? That's insane. But yeah, I mean, the next target, given that this is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a wave 1, then you have an ABC wave 2, and then we should see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up for the wave 3, which again targets the 1.618 at 74 cents. So the next target on DAG is almost 75 cents. That's insane. That's like a 75x from current prices. That's actually crazy. I might have to scoop up on some DAG. Low key, I might have to scoop up on some DAG after looking at this chart. I mean, it's clear, like, there's really no discrepancies in the chart. The only thing that would make this chart invalidated would be if price were to retrace lower than these lows. If price was to go down lower than 0.001, then yeah, this wave count would be invalidated. But until proven otherwise, the next target's 75 cents. Because we have a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the monthly chart. Then we have this A wave, B wave, and then the C wave. Well, the next after that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up towards the 1.618 at 75 cents. So that's insane. I appreciate you. I have hundreds of thousands. Thank you. Yeah, I wish you the best in this one. See, I might honestly pick up some of this just looking at this chart right here. That is, I don't know too much about the fundamentals of the project in general. Like, I might do some more research on just the project. Like, what are they doing? What does the project do? You know, I don't really know too much about it, but from a pure technical standpoint, I mean, it's pretty clean. If I'm being honest, it's my moon bag. It has military contracts. Okay, sign me up. Sign me up. I'll put like 1 to 2% of my overall portfolio in this. I like to do, again, you guys know my strategy. It's 50% Bitcoin, like 30% XRP, Ethereum, and Solana. Like, that's my sort of safer bucket. You know, 30% allocated towards those tokens, and then another 15% in, like, I don't know, HBAR, some of the higher like, you know, over $1 billion market cap, like SUI, HBAR, XLM, things like that are, you know, over $1 billion of market cap. I'll make that 15% of my portfolio. And then another 5% is just in, you know, tokens like this with high upside potential that have good fundamentals. Like, if Constellation has some military contracts, I know VeChain has some contracts with UFC, so they're doing stuff in the real world, and the technicals of the chart look good, but again, they're smaller market caps, so they're carry a little bit more risk because they're not as proven. They're smaller market caps, but it's still worth a percentage in your portfolio. And if it's, you know, 1 to 5% max of your portfolio, even if every one of those tokens goes to zero, you're still, you know, 95, 95, you know, 90 to 95% allocated or in safer tokens. So that's sort of my strategy when investing is have your big boys as like 80% of your chunk, another 15 in like large caps, and then another 5 to 10% in smaller cap tokens with higher risk, higher reward type structure. Where do you see Solana bottoming? We were just looking at Solana, Ash. My targets for Solana are... Shit. Hold on. Do I still have it on there? Yeah. Okay. My next target for Solana is between the 1 and 1.618, which is $67 to $51. So if I was to buy, I would buy in that zone, the 67 to 51. But I'll do some more research on that, T. Thank you for presenting that chart to us. I mean, that's a phenomenal multiple, and I'll put 1% of my... I mean, even if I put $100 in there, that hidden thing, it's a 75x. I mean, that's $7,000 off a $100 investment. That's insane. And even if it goes to zero, I only lose $100. So it's high risk, high reward. But if it has got some fundamental stuff working for it, I'm definitely in. Hello, Nick. What ticker is this chart? We were just looking at DAG, ticker symbol DAGUSD. T had requested DAG. The actual name of the project is Constellation DAG, but the symbol is DAG. It does look like it has a pretty clean chart and a high multiple, so I'm excited for that one. 1,000 Pepe USD. Is that a chart? 1,000 Pepe USD, please. 1,000 US. I can look at it. Yeah, we can go. Gons, what's up, man? Dubstream. Major alts are gonna pump. Yeah, I agree. VeChain, yeah, VeChain's got some good fundamentals to it. The chart looks great. What about Cetus and Plume? Great projects. I can look at those, Donnie. Let's go to 1,000 Pep. I don't even know this one. So what is this? 1,000 Pep. Is it a perpetual? Is that what I'm looking at? Is this just a perpetual future on Pepe? Is that what this is? It's Pepe that has good data to chart. Oh. I mean, I don't really do Elliott Wave Theory on meme coins, if I'm being honest. Like there's constraints with Elliott Wave Theory, right? Like there's still, it's a strategy. It provides you high confluence zones, but again, it's meant for like, you don't have to invest. Here's the thing. Well, I mean, Pepe is a decent project. I mean, but again, it's still a meme coin, so you don't really know where it's going to go. There's no real fundamentals behind it. But I mean, you kind of have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have this. Does that invalidate? Let me see. Well, that invalidates that. So, I mean, I guess you do have a 1, 2, 3, but the only problem is maybe this is a 3, 4, and a 5. Maybe that, because maybe this on the smaller time frame, maybe we have a 1, 2, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a 4 and then a 5. And then you have this ABC structure. So, I mean, technically, if that's the case, then, you know, maybe that goes to 4 cents is the next target at the 1.618, 4 cents. But that would be highly speculative. Again, I rarely invest in meme. I don't even think I own any meme coins, to be honest. But technically speaking, this being a wave 1 and a 2, I mean, the next thing is the 1.618 at 4 cents, but that's more of a loose target than anything. What exchange to buy DAG? I think you can buy DAG on... Let me see. Hold on. I have it on my phone. Let me go to CoinMarketCap. I think you can buy DAG on Coinbase. No, you can't. You can buy it on... I don't know. Was that Gate? What was that? Yeah, you can buy it on Gate. You can buy it on KuCoin. Is that Mexi? Yeah. Gate, KuCoin, Mexi. You can buy it on Kraken. What is that one? CoinW? I've never heard of that one. You can buy it on Gate, Mexi, KuCoin, and Kraken. Uphold, buy DAG on Uphold. Yeah, you can buy it on Uphold too. You can buy DAG on Kraken. There you go. Uh, Sets. What is that? Cetus? We can look at what is Cetus. Cetus. Let's look. Is this? Is it? The only thing I'm seeing for Cetus is just straight down. Cetus protocol. Is this what the chart looks like? Is it something like this? It's fairly new. Yeah, the tough part about fairly new tokens is they don't really have a lot of price action to go off of. This whole structure to me just looks corrective. There's really no like this can't be a wave 1 and a 2 because price is already retraced lower than this level. So until further notice, we're just waiting for an impulse off these lows. Like until we get a 5-wave impulse. Oh wait, let me do the thing. I'll show you what. I'll show you an example. Hold on. Compare chart. Hold on. Hold on. EOS. Because this looks like EOS. What is this? Hold on. Yeah, I'm new. It may come up as a line on the chart. Okay. It says same percent scale, new price scale, or new pane. New pane? Wait a second. That doesn't look like the EOS chart at all. That looks like this chart. All right, well, nonetheless. Okay, wait. Let me just go to EOS. Let me just go to EOS. Where's EOS? Okay, so EOS, for example, right? Newer token back in this... well, you can't see it. Hold on. EOS was a newer token back in this region, right? There's not a lot of price action to go off of. You really can't determine what price is going to do next, right? It's just, it's kind of just ping-ponging and does its little dippity-dip here. Now, if you would have recommend, said, hey, Nick, take a look at EOS, back in 2021 and said, hey, what is the next price target for EOS? I couldn't have told you. I wouldn't have known because there's no price action to go off of. However, now that we have price action to go off of for EOS, it allows us to make targets. So this is something that I want to, this is not advice, but this is just my own personal opinion. Whenever I'm investing in a token, in a crypto, in a stock, whatever it is, you don't have to invest in everything. I think we get too, the right word's not greedy, but I think we just get like this shiny object syndrome and we chase after every project, every token, every stock, everything that's out there. We say, where can we put our money to make the most money? How about we ask ourselves, where can we put our money that is a high conviction buy where I know the next targets based on a strategy? So for me, it's Elliott Wave Theory. I use it to provide me buy zones and sell zones. And I want to have high conviction in places that I park my money. I don't want to chase every single stock, every single crypto out there and say, oh, well, I want to buy this and buy this and buy this. I want to have a strategy going in saying, okay, why am I buying this? What are the fundamentals? What are the technicals? Like, why am I choosing to buy this specific asset? What are the reasons behind it? And for me, the reason I like EOS right now is because if you would have asked me during this 2021 era, I don't know what price is going to do. But then we had a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. Now we have some conviction because now we have some price movement. And we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. Then we have an ABC down. And then for me, the next target's $2 based on this structure. So I'm like evaluating different we want to buy it all and spread ourselves thin, fill a bag, move to the next. Yeah, that's not wrong, T. And I think that for me is what I'm trying to move away from and try to get others to realize like, hey, I don't want to buy everything. I want to own things that I have high confluence, high conviction, and high confidence in based on whatever strategy you use. For me, Elliott Wave Theory is my strategy, so I have high confidence in EOS just based on the structure. I mean, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up, then we have an ABC down, and then boom, the next move is up. So that's my, again, that's why I like Robinhood right now and MSTR. Please do Hood for now. Please do Hood. We can look at Robinhood. Yeah, we can look at Robinhood. We're gonna look at Bitcoin first, and then we'll go to Robinhood. Have you take a look at Zcash? We can look at Zcash after. We did a while ago. It's been a while since we looked at Zcash. But let's go to Bitcoin, and then we can go to Zcash. So for Bitcoin, again, nothing's changed for me. This is still the... Let me try to get let me go to the weekly just so I can get everything in. Okay. I know the daily's better. I like that better. So this is the wave 5. This whole structure right here. This is the whole wave 5. And we're still just waiting for this final leg down. So we've already had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then we're just waiting for this 5th leg to come down. Again, my zones haven't changed, just 60 to 50K. I think if you're wanting chart, I think if you're wanting chart by chart with candles instead of line, hit layout set up. It's right by the bar play. Okay, I'll play with that off stream, Donnie. I'll mess around with it. Maybe I'll go to ChatGPT and see if I can find a way where I can have one chart on the one half and then the other chart on the other half. No, absolutely no. I really do appreciate that. I think there's maybe a way that I might be. I'll YouTube it and see if I can get have both charts on the same screen as opposed to just lines. So I'll play around with that. But that right there helped a lot, having to be able to compare. I never knew you could do that on TradingView. Where do I think Bitcoin to top out? Where did you expect So I wasn't posting content back previous cycle. I wasn't, I've recently started posting crypto content. So back in, the 2021 cycle, I was not even posting content. I was fairly new to crypto at that time. I was just kind of getting my feet wet. I was trying out a bunch of different strategies. I was looking at this. For me was my learning period. This whole structure, I missed out on all of it, but this for me was all my learning structure. This was trying out a bunch of different, to top out previous season. I don't know what you mean previous season. I'm kind of confused on what you mean by that. When you say season, what do you mean? I don't do my strategy isn't based around the 4-year cycle or any of those stuff. It's just Elliott Wave Theory. Yeah, we're going to look at Hood. I'm doing Bitcoin first, and we're going to jump over to Robinhood next. I think I'm just confused about what you mean by season. Because the only thing that I use is Elliott Wave Theory. I don't use anything else. I don't use 4-year cycle, moving averages. I tried out a bunch of that crap in the past and none of it worked. The only thing that works for me is Elliott Wave Theory. And for me, this, I know a lot of people say, well, we had a stunted cycle or whatever. I'm just going off of what the chart suggests, and the chart suggests the next move is the 200K. Does that come in 2026? Does it come between now and 2028? Does it come in now between 2030? I don't know. I can't predict time. I can only study structure. I'm going off of the data that I have at my fingertips. And for me, we have one leg lower, which all of y'all know. We've been talking about that for months now. Once this is complete, the next move for me is up. Do you use support and resistance in trends? I would say less support and resistance. I do use invalidation levels. I don't know if those are really those, I guess, aren't really considered support and resistance. Those are more invalidation levels for crypto. I mean, for charting, for me right now, I'll show you what I mean. So if this is truly the start of wave 1, meaning this drop that we're in currently is the wave 1 with the wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, The wave 2, once we get a pullback, whenever that comes, we can't retrace above the top of wave 2 or wave 1, which is at 74,000. So if price was to retrace for a wave 2 over 74,000, that would mean this is not a wave 1 and we're in some sort of ABC structure, and then we might get another ABC structure out of that. So until we get more price action, it's hard to tell. So this isn't necessarily like support resistance, it's more just invalidation levels. Soon stock, yeah, we can look at it. The top was 125K, right? Where did you see it topping out yourself? Well, for me, I don't view the top. For me is not 125. That's just the B wave. That's like, I'll show you. Like if you're talking about top in terms of like structurally wise, the top was back here at 108, this wave 5. That technically was the top. But again, I don't view that as the top. Like, I guess I'm just different. Like, for me, I don't try to invest and trade stuff in like windows. Like everyone tries to squish Bitcoin and stocks and everything into like a time frame. You can't do that. Like that's the reason that there's so much fear and greed and anxiety and stress, is because everyone tries to fit investing into time. Like it's very hard to do that, because investing as itself is always really hard. Reading markets is really hard. No one's ever 100% correct on anything. Like you can never be 100% correct on anything because the market throws you curveballs, and the only thing that you can do is use the data at your fingertips and the data at your hand and say, okay, based on where we're at right now, what is the next logical move? And how do you have an edge in the market? For me, Elliott Wave Theory is my edge. It provides me with really good zones of buying and selling, which I'm very grateful for learning it. But like you can never predict everything to like 100% certainty. You can only be provided with good quality entries and exits. And for me, the top was back here. Like if you want to talk about tops, it was back here for the wave 5 at 108. So you have a 1, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. That's the top of the impulse. And then you get the 3-wave correction. And I think a lot of people got fooled here because we didn't. If you look at the weekly time, even the weekly time frame, it kind of looks like that. So if you look at the weekly time frame for this structure, after the top comes here in the wave 5, you get a 3-wave move down. Okay. Then what happens off of this? Now, back then, you could have been looking at this and said, okay, we got a 3-wave move. Okay, the next logical thing is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up, which would have taken you higher. However, what did price do? Well, you got this A, B, C, and then you got another A, B, C, and then another A, B, C. That's not impulsive. That's all corrected, because they're just really, this is kind of a WXY right here. You have a W move here, an X move here, and a Y for a B. Like the reason behind that is you have an A, B, C, then you have an A, B, C, then you have an A, B, C. So it's just this wave 4 that we're in currently is the same thing back here for the B, meaning you just have 3-wave moves with inside of 3-wave moves. So I think what happened was people were expecting this to be, an explosive, impulsive wave move out off this low, which would have made sense. And that would have actually been pretty interesting to see, because if we didn't get this correction and we got an impulse of 1 through 5, we probably would have ended up at, let's see what that target would have been. Let me see here. Let me go to the monthly. So if you did get a 5-wave impulsive move off of those lows, yeah, price again still would have been 191 to 223. So off of these lows down here would have been 191 to 223, kind of similar to what the target is now. It's just extended, and price has taken a lot longer to correct. But even this move right here, this ABC corrected to the 0.382, which that's a shallow correction for a 5-wave move, which even is kind of further confluence of why that was not the bottom. But you have a 3-wave move, then you have a 3-wave move, and then you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and then after that, that's why I keep saying, yes, I'm expecting a 5-wave move off of here just because we've been in corrective mode for so long. But if we get something similar to this, so you see how this off of these lows right here, we had this 3-wave move and then a 3-wave move and then a 3-wave move. If we get something similar like that off of these lows, that for me is just more correction. So if we get, a 3-wave move and then a 3-wave move and then a 3-wave move, that's just a big correction. And then what'll come next is another 3-wave move down. So it's hard to tell what price is going to do. You can only go off of what you have. What I'm expecting is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. That's what I'm expecting next. But we can also get a further corrective wave, and what that would mean on the monthly is this. If we got a 3-wave move off the lows followed by a 3-wave move, then this would turn into a massive WXY. You would have this be a W, this be an X, and then this would be a Y down here. So basically, you would just have this big WXY structure and then the impulsive wave up. So it just depends, right? It's just a waiting game. You can only go off of what you have. And for me, regardless, even if we get a 3-wave move off, you're still going to get a bounce. How high does that bounce go? You might still go back to all-time high, which is great. But if you get a 3-wave bounce followed by a 3-wave bounce followed by a 3-wave move down, you're still going to get a bounce off these lows regardless. So even if you bought now and we didn't have a 5-wave move off the lows, you're still going to be in profit, probably double what you buy right now. So to me, it's the risk to reward right now is great. I fully understand you, Matt. Okay, great. Yeah, good price to buy Bitcoin in the range 50. Yeah, my zone is 60 to 50K, Arthur. That's my zone. Is Kraken a premium platform or is it just another exchange? I think Kraken actually has a pretty good. Gotta go make dinner, Nick. You and your lady have a good night. Thanks again. Absolutely, T. I will see you in the next one. I'll be live tomorrow, so feel free to join. But if not, I will catch you in the next one. I'm here tonight. Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's go, Daniel. I appreciate you coming. I don't know, but I feel like once they pass the Clarity Act and market structure bill, it will open up the floodgates for liquidity, big utility run for the right coins. Yeah, and that's another thing too. We're kind of and that goes maybe from a non-technical standpoint. That for me is further confluence of why the next move off of these lows is going to be impulsive, because markets don't like uncertainty, and that's kind of what we've had over the past year. You get the let's get it, hell yeah. That's what we've had over the past year. We've had the tariffs, they've been in place, they've been not in place. Then we have trade negotiations, we're passing, then they're not, and then you have the Clarity Act floating around, and then you have economic data fluctuating, and then you have some interest rates cuts, and then you have a pause, and then you all this uncertainty, right, is the reason why this structure has taken so long. You just have all these uncertainty moments. When the market gets clarity, and that could be from just economic stuff or policy decision, geopolitical stuff, throw the war in there too, throw that in there. I mean, just a lot of uncertain things. That's why this is a huge ABC expanding flat, which counter to what you might think, it's actually more bullish than you think, because the more that price contracts and coils up, the higher it's going to spring. And we've been correcting now for over a year. So what do you think is going to happen once this correction ends? We're going to shoot up, and then throw in the Clarity Act getting passed, so you get some more regulatory clarity for crypto. That's more certainty for crypto. So then boom, you're going to get these huge explosive moves off. Again, my targets are still 200K. They can extend. The reason behind that is from prices of where they're at today, the target's 206. But here's the thing. That's from where prices are right now. But if we get a huge impulse of wave 1 off the low, followed by a 2, and then another huge wave 3, followed by a 4, there's still one leg more. So until this move happens off these lows, the first target is 206. But if we get a huge impulsive wave up to the all-time high, then we get a pullback 2, and then this massive 3, we're still going to have a 4 and a 5. So until further notice, 206 is the target. It can overshoot to 241. We could also go to the 2.618 at 300. That would be a massive trade at the 2.618, you know, if we were to go that high. But between 200 and 250 is basically a nice target. We could also extend to the 2.618 at 300, which would be huge. And I think a lot of people will be like, if we get to 300, everyone's going to be calling for super cycle. And we'll have this. We'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 300. Everyone up here is going to be calling for 1 million Bitcoin. And then we're going to get this massive 3-wave move down, which is going to be really funny because everyone always screams more things at the top. And then they get super feared for at the bottom. Is now a good time to start picking up on altcoins, AVAX, HBAR, Link? For me, I'm waiting a little bit longer, Arthur. And the reason behind that is because I'm still anticipating more lows for Bitcoin, which obviously will drive altcoins down a little bit more. So, you know, as Bitcoin does its thing, I'll be looking to pick up altcoins. But if you think about it, right, we still have, for me, I still have a 5-wave move down. I'm going to start picking up altcoins on the wave 3 and on the wave 5. That's my plan, is wait for the 5 and the 3, because those are going to be impulsive waves where you're going to see these sharp candles. And that's when you're going to get these huge liquidations. And for me, those are good buying opportunities. I'm looking at VeChain, EOS, and probably, well, I might buy DAG, because then I'd have to open a Kraken account. I don't necessarily want to do that. Like, EOS is on Coinbase and VeChain's on Coinbase. So I might just go with VeChain and EOS, and then I'll pick up some more Bitcoin. But I'm waiting for the wave 3 here and the wave 5. That's my plan. Tricky Rick, what's going on? So are you saying until then you're dealing with... Wait, until then... So you're saying until then you're dealing with gangsters? I'm confused on that question. I'm confused if I'm being honest. From the top, how far does it drop? Say from 206 down. Oh, yeah. So let's go to the monthly again. So right now, right, for this being the wave 1, we're in the 2, the 3 towards 206, then the 4. Oh, wait, that's not all on chart. Hold on. Give me a moment. Okay, so given this chart right here, right? Currently, the wave 2 is pulling back to, we're kind of at the 0.5 right now. And again, my zone has always been between the 0.5 and the 0.618 for wave 2. That's a high confluence zone for wave 2. 0.5 to 0.618, you know, somewhere in the 60 to 50K region. Say we bottom at 55, we'll just cut it in the middle, 55. Then, let me get this out of the way. Then, say we pump to 206. This would be a next target for a wave 4. So say we go to 55 to 200. Let me move this out of the way. The next target would typically be the 0.382. That's where wave 4 typically retraces to, which is 0.382. So say we go from 55 to 200, the next retrace would be 150. However, we still can decline to, let me move these into the middle so you can see them. So these are kind of the zones. And then the invalidation for this wave count is this high right here. So as long as price stays above the 0.618 on the wave 4, this wave count's invalidated, meaning, or valid, meaning this is the wave 1, the 2, the 3 to 200, the 4 somewhere in this region, and then the 5. Somewhere between 150 to 113. I know it's a massive zone, but price typically retraces for the wave 4 between the 0.382 and the 0.5, which is between 150 to 130. So that's sort of the next zone after, again, it's more speculative now because we have to wait till the wave 3 is complete. But if we get to 200, the next drop will be between, 150 to 113. If we take the price drop from that, let's see how much percent that would be. So from 206 down, you know, that's a 27% correction, 36% all the way down to a 45. So pretty big corrections if we get that level. So these are kind of the zones that I'll be looking at, Matt, for the last one. Fascinating, thank you. That it is really cool how Elliott Wave Theory you can use some of this stuff. But yeah, once we get to 200, that'll be my next zones to dollar cost average just for the long term. Would be between 150 to 113. We're gonna jump over to Hood here now because that was the next chart request. So we're gonna jump over to Hood. But yeah, to answer your question, I'll be waiting for the Wave 3 and 5 to pick up altcoins. Most exchanges are gangsters. Yeah, that's why I buy the token and then I transfer it to a hardware wallet. That's my plan. So again, this is more speculative than anything, but say for example, we retrace to the point 382 from 200, 206 to 130, was it right? 138. So if we pump to 200 and then we retrace to 138, which is at the 0.382, the next target would be 250 for Bitcoin. If we retrace to the 0.5, which was I think 120 something, the next target would be 250 still. And then if we retrace to 113, which is the 0.618, the next target would be 264. So basically between like 250 to 300 would be the wave 5 target. That would be what would be next. So essentially the path is 200 to like 150 to 113 and then 250 to 300. Let's go to Robinhood. The good old Hood. Okay. For the altcoins, when your price target hits, how much of your position are you planning on selling? For me, altcoins, like I'm a long-term holder of Bitcoin. With altcoins, I generally just, my plan is to just take 100% out. So I'm in, for some of them, I'm in, 2022 lows, pretty good prices on some, other altcoins like Polkadot and Polygon have kind of retraced from the 2022 lows. But like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Near Protocol I'm still above on that one. But a lot of these other projects have kind of pumped from their 2022 lows and are just waiting for the next impulsive waves. So once those things hit my targets, I'll probably be 100% out of altcoins and then just wait for basically charts to present themselves to put in. So for example, altcoins, I'll be out of altcoins, maybe be out of Bitcoin, but I'll probably hold my Bitcoin holdings. I don't think I'm going to sell them, and then wait for the next correction after the 5-wave impulsive move, wait for that correction, and then dollar cost average into maybe, I don't know, maybe some stocks, maybe some, whatever charts present themselves as good quality charts, that's where I'll deploy my capital. So it's, once that euphoria and greed hit, rotating it from things that have already completed their 5-wave moves to things that haven't completed their 5-wave moves. So my capital is always doing something. So for example, right, say I bought, let's see, trying to think, say for example you just sold all of your altcoins at the top. The altcoins did a 5-wave move, you identified a 5-wave move, you sold up here. Then you're like, okay, I took my gains off the table. The 5-wave move's complete. After a 5-wave move, again, we get an ABC correction. So I don't want to take the losses on that. I just want to take my profits and then position my capital somewhere else. And you identify a chart like Robinhood and you see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement after this big decline. I would take my capital from those altcoin gains and then rotate it into Robinhood because I know it's had a 5-wave move and now it's in an ABC corrective. So what's next after that? Well, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. So I'm just moving my capital around depending on what chart and what structure looks the best. That's my strategy, at least. I like Tau from a long-term perspective too. I think Tau probably has some pretty good potential, but I don't know too much about it, Matt. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know. I haven't done any deep dives on Tau, so I really don't know. Okay, so Hood. Let's go into Hood here. Let's go to the weekly time frame just so we can get more price action here. So Robinhood on the weekly time frame looks like this. Well, you're on YouTube, so you can see the whole chart. So for me, this is what Robinhood looks like. We have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, a 2. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1. Or wait, hold on 1 second. Why is this all messed up? What is going on with Robinhood? Where's my hood chart, damn it? Is this the one that I did? Why is this all messed up? It looks all messed up for me. No, that's right. Yeah, we just had a massive 5-wave move. Yeah, because we had the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then the 5. Yeah, why is my 3 all the way up there? What the heck's going on here? All my shit's messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, here. Okay, so for Robinhood right here, this is what I have. We have, let me make sure everything validates again just to make sure. So we have a wave 1, wave 2. Yep, okay. We had an explosive wave 5, but wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5. Now, none of this invalidates. Price didn't retrace into this zone. We have a 5-wave move, and now we have an ABC corrective. I do think there's a little bit more downside on Robinhood, and then we start the next impulses up. But what questions do you have on what questions can I answer about Robinhood? The next target for me on Robinhood is from these levels is $300. That's my next target on Robinhood. After this 5-wave move, 3-wave corrective, next target's the 1.618 at 300. Robinhood actually looks pretty clean. Like you have a really clean 1, 2. Oh, messing that up. You have a really clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up, and then this ABC corrective, and then the next target's up. But what questions do you have? Actually, my average is 125 on hood, so we'll go back there. I mean, based on the chart, I mean, it's going to take some time. It's not going to, shoot up, and the next thing you know, you're going to be in profit. It'll take some time. Right now with Robinhood, if you look at the chart itself on the monthly time frame, from the start of wave 1, let me go to the weekly. I just need to get the start of wave 1. Shit. Hold on. Right there. There it is. Start of wave 1 to the top of wave 5. Okay. So on the monthly time frame, this is kind of what the chart looks like. Let me move these left. So on the monthly time frame right now, we're already in between the 0.5 and 0.618, which again is the wave 2 target. That is what the wave 2 typically targets, is the 0.5 to the 0.618. We're also seeing that on Bitcoin. For those of you that we've looked at Bitcoin before, that current wave 2 is sitting between the 0.5 and 0.618, a high confluence zone for wave 2 to pull back. So for me, my zone is 80 to 63. I do think we get one more leg lower on Robinhood, probably somewhere. I'd have to look at it on the daily again, but I did see a little bit more downside, probably maybe taking out this low of this candle. So somewhere around maybe, $65, probably coming down a little bit lower. And then we'll get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off the low. And that next target is 300. When did you buy hood? So 125. Oh, so you bought up here then. You bought on the impulse of wave 5. That okay. Which is fine. I mean, hey, I think Robinhood is a long-term hold. I think buying up here was probably not the best decision based on the Elliott Wave count, and that's why obviously prices declined about 50% because we had a really explosive wave 5, but that's fine. I mean, I've been there. I bought it January 1st, January 1st. Where's January? Right here. Okay. Yes, you bought it on that candle. Yeah, you bought it here, and then we had the bounce. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That to me looks like a wave B. January. Yeah, kind of in that, because you had the A, B, C. the wave B up here. So it's kind of like a little bit of a bounce. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think Robinhood again has long-term hold potential. I'm down on it. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, it sucks being I'm holding since then. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, right? But based on the structure of it, my next target is 300K based on this structure, and this being the reason why. So my next target's the 1.618 at 300, and what we should see is something like this off the low. We should get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. But really anywhere between 213 and 300. Anywhere between 213 and 300. This zone right here is the next. So if we get like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move like that, for me, that'll be considered the wave 3, but the typical target's 300. My trade has now become investing. Yeah, trust me, I've been there. I get it. I totally get it. Kenneth, what is that? Go Popular Heart Me? Thanks, Kenneth, for the... What is that? Popular? That's kind of cool. Thank you for that. But the wave 3 typically targets the 1.618. I trust me, I've been there before. I've held positions, and that, again, was my learning period of investing and trading. I tried out a bunch of strategies, tried out a bunch of stuff, and 2022 is a lot of learning lessons, and then I've kind of got my groove now, and I'm in a good position where I've documented all my stuff over stocks, crypto, and everything, and I think that it's proving to be pretty good. So I feel in a really good position right now. Hood Def needed to do something good to the app with this next impulsive move. They had to come up with something good. I think the fundamentals will probably drive some of that, but again, can you check out Cash? Hopefully there's enough data for you. Yeah, we can look at that, Richard, for sure. But yeah, that's next on Hood. I'm selling covered calls, so my average is 110. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad average for sure. You're definitely not at all-time highs at 150, so take that as a win. Take that as a win. Let's look at, Cash. Is that what it is? I think this is the chart. Does this look like the chart for Cash? Is it this one? I mean, that doesn't cross that low there, so. Sorry, yeah, we got to go to Soon first. We got to do it. We got to go here for SoundHound AI. We got to go there first, then Cash. I promised. What is that? Q Forever. I promised Q Forever. We go. All right, so let's look at this one on the monthly. Then we'll go to Atcash. Atcash is next because this one was you had requested this a while ago. I totally forgot about this one. Oh boy. Okay. Some of these charts y'all send me, I swear, some of them are very confusing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like some of these charts, when I look at them, like you really got to look at these charts in depth because this can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Well, that drawing's terrible. This can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because this is entered into the price territory of wave 1. Let's go to the daily, maybe. See, the thing is, this has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement on it. This right here, this structure has it does have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement, which is good, but then there's no continuation off of it. Like you could say, well, hold on. Hold the phone. I mean, this is definitely a wave 1 back here. Maybe this is an A, B, C, B, A, B, C, something, and then we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this massive A wave, B wave, and C wave. I mean, technically, but this structure back here is throwing me off because where does that, that doesn't really connect to anything. This kind of just looks like a pop and then a correction. Yeah, it almost looks like this is like an A, B, C, A, B, C, B, A, B, C, C, and then we have the, okay, that could make sense. All right, so on the daily, this, to me, this structure is the first start of the wave one. Now, where does it start is the question. It looks like this right here is the wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four, and then wave five. And then we have this A, B, C, and then we have this, you know, A, B, C structure down. So as long as price doesn't go below $4.97, I'm going to put everything into the chart. Just give me a second. As long as price doesn't go below the start of wave one at $4.97, this wave count is valid. So this is essentially a wave one and then a massive ABC move. So the next target on that would be, why did that not, what the, oh, I'm on the drawing still, that's why. So from these lows to the high, using that, I mean, the next target on this is, let me put the labels on it, but essentially we have this as the wave one, we're in the 2, 3 somewhere up here, 4, you know, down here, and then a 5. So the next target on this is like $40. That's the next target for Soundhound, is $40. From right here, 8, it's like 8 to 40, so that's like a 5x. What's cooking, Nick? Doing good, man. How are you? Doing good. Hi, Nick. How are you doing, bro? Good, man. I am doing phenomenal. A little tired today. I'm not gonna lie. A little tired on this Sunday. A little groggy. But that's just the Sunday blues, I guess. It was rainy all day today. I was out with my realtor today looking at houses, so that took up a lot of time. So a little tired today, but feeling good. How are you guys doing? Looks really crazy to me. That is the reason why I wanted you to look at it. Yeah, I mean, from what I see, this right here is definitely not an impulsive wave, so I'm not even going to factor that in. For me, this is a wave one, an A, B, C, 2, and then we have the 3 next, and that's towards $40. And we should see it something like this. Something like that, a 5 wave up. So yeah, this one, I don't know the fundamentals behind the company, like what they do. I have no clue, but off the pure technicals, we definitely have a 1, 2, and then 3's next. So $40 is next on this one. Now, with that being said, now we can go, Richard, we're going to go to AKT now. But any question, is that Q forever? Any questions on this one? I mean, it doesn't look that crazy, though, honestly. It's not like you just had a really big impulsive move and then a massive correction. And that makes sense for a wave 2 to, you know, have a big correction like that. Let me see. You know, and you're correcting down to the 0.786, basically, which is just a big correction. Hello, Nick. Hello, how's it going? How are you? Hope your day is going well. That helps. I wanted to know where to start since I started at the low impulse move that you said. What? The only reason it's not that is because in order for this to be, like, if you were to consider this an impulse back here, then this would be a 2, then this would be a 3, and then this 4 retraces into the territory of wave 1. Like, this 4 goes into the territory of wave 1, so that's invalidated, which would mean this can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only place that price starts and is not invalidated is here. So far it looks good. All right, let's go to AtCash. ATC USD. Makes sense on wave 4. This is why I appreciate it. I try my best, man. I'm not perfect. Only human, but a lot of practice makes perfect. So I will say, the more you do it, the more you practice it. I would say what I did, I have the book up here today. So for those of you that are interested in it, this is the book that I use. This thing right here. Elliott Wave Made Simple, baby. The only book you need. The only book you ever need to read is this thing right here. It's 100 pages. And then it's got all the, you know, the stuff in it. But I always keep this up here. Usually I have it up here. I had it downstairs earlier, but I keep it right on my desk because when I'm looking at charts, I refer back to this thing and say, okay, you know, we're in this, right? This is Bitcoin right here. This is what we're in for Bitcoin. That right there, the expanding flat. That one right there, that's what Bitcoin's in. We had a B wave that retraced above. And you see why I say a 3-wave move down for the A, a 3-wave up for the B, and then a 5-wave move for the C. That is Bitcoin right there, expanding flat. But I keep it up here just in case I forget something or if I want to refer to the rules. Because I always double check everything to make sure like the rules are validated. Okay, so let's go to... that's close to retracing to the start. Now the only this one's gonna take a little bit of time. No. I need the daily. I'm broadcasting this on horizontal as well on TikTok. So if you want to see my whole screen, just move it to horizontal. It might be easier because this is going to take me a little bit to look at this one. This one's a little bit more complex. Man. I mean, this 1, 2, 3. Nope. Well, I can't start it there because price is retraced lower. Man, oh man. And price retraced lower than this one, so that can't count. And even if I start it here, 1, 2, that can't be a 3. And that doesn't even have 5 waves up, so that doesn't count. If I started from here, do we haven't done that, but this is a 1, 2... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe? But that's such a short 5. That doesn't make any sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. I mean, there's A, B, C down here, and then 1, 2... I mean, kind of the only 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, kind of the only input. Honestly, there's really not a lot on like. There's nothing definitive on this one. The reason behind that is like this can't be a 1 because price is already retraced below it. Down here in this zone, there's really no impulses until about here, and because price is already retraced lower than this zone, like prices already came into this zone. The first impulses I did see were from here. I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, but price is already retraced lower than that, so this can't be a 1 and a 2. Yeah, with Akash, I guess fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, until we get some impulses off the low, there's really no I cannot definitively say what's next. I would be throwing shit out there and I wouldn't have confidence in it. Until I get some impulses off the low, there's really nothing that suggests... I mean, there's definitely an ABC correction, but there's really no impulses down here that... Like, you could be like, oh, well, you know, I'll start the wave down here. This is a 1, this is a 2, and then we should see a 3. There's no impulses down here to start a 1, so that's the only problem. So that's for unfortunately, however you want to look at it. That's what I got for Akash. That's what I thought. I think it's a good. I think from a fundamental standpoint, I've seen things about Akash before. I do think that there's some fundamentals behind it for sure. I mean, you had this massive run up, right? You had this massive run up here. If you're looking at the fundamental standpoint of it, yeah, there definitely is. I do think that this will rebound, pretty nicely. We did have a really good run up here. I mean, a big sell-off, but we could also have another run up again. Now, how high that goes, I have to wait until the 1-2. until we get the 1-2, I have no idea what the targets are on this next. If we get a 1-2 like this, I can project out a 3 and then a 4 and a 5. But until then, it's kind of just chilling right there for now. Yeah, that's what I got on at cash. I'm trying to think of any other ones that I saw recently that I thought were pretty good. I mean, MSTR, I like MSTR right here. I really do. I'm trying to think if there's any other. I'm going back to my notes because there was a couple other. Oh, someone wanted to see CRO. Does anyone in the chat have Chronos? Someone else on, I don't know if he's in here or not. They wanted to see Chronos. Yeah, Chronos. There's really not. I mean, this is such a funky wave up. I mean, look at that. That just massive up, down, massive up, down. I mean, that is some price action right there. I mean, let's go to the daily. I mean, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is the 2, but then I mean, Chronos is tricky because this 1, 2, that's a small 3. I mean, maybe the 3 comes up here, the 4, the 5. Chronos is too choppy to make a decision on it, I think. Like, I know some people were asking, Chronos is just too choppy until we get the first impulse off the low. It's too hard to tell. What time is it? 8 o'clock? I actually might. I'll do one more chart request. I'll do one more chart request, and then I might log off for the night today because I'm a little tired today. I want to get some rest so that I'm fresh for tomorrow. But any of y'all got any more chart requests that you want to look at? We can do one last one. We can do Bitcoin. We can look at MSTR. If there's anything specific that you guys want to look at, let me know. AVAX? Okay, we can do AVAX. I think we did it. I think everything's saved from AVAX, I want to say, from the last time we did it. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So what I have on AVAX next is basically this. So, hold on. That's why my thing's not working. Okay, there we go. I had to switch back to logarithmic chart. So on AVAX, we have this wave 1. If I go to the weekly time frame, there's some impulses off here, but we have this wave 1 with this wave 2. The next target for me on AVAX is 244. And this being a wave 1 and ABC 2, and then the 3 should come next. 244 is my next target on AVAX. And again, it's similar to my Bitcoin thesis. There's probably going to be one more dip lower just because when Bitcoin dips, it drags all the other altcoins down. So there's probably going to be maybe a little bit lower, but then the next target is 244 on AVAX. Lina's Rare Earths Limited. All right, okay, we can look at that, Tricky Rick. We can look at that. Any questions, Arthur, on AVAX? I mean, there's going to be a little bit lower. Just a little bit, you know, not much. There's going to be a little bit lower. And then after we get a little bit lower, that for me is when the impulses should start. It's similar to Bitcoin. You know, just get a little bit lower on Bitcoin. I appreciate, yeah, absolutely. Linus Rare Earths Limited. Okay. Huh. Hmm. Let's go to weekly. So this whole structure right here. Oh wait. All of this out the window. Nothing here you can use. The only thing you can use is this. So we're going to dive into this structure and see what we got. Huh. I mean, I was gonna say this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, but it crosses into the territory of that. I mean, this is definitely an ABC move, so this actually 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 and a 5, and then ABC 2, and then this is the 3, this is the 4, and then we're in the 5th. That actually might make sense. Let's go to the daily. Move this here so I have it. Make sure that's on log. So on the daily time frame now, where was I just at? Does that cross into it? Yeah, I mean that looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but that is an ABC up, so that's not a 4. Yeah, I mean this one, it almost looks like we have a wave 1 here, an ABC 2, a wave 3, a wave 4. Let me just make sure that validates everything. I mean, it definitely validates. Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like we have a wave 1 here, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then we're in the 5th. Now, of the 5th, you know, how many waves do we have at the 5th so far? It's just all this choppy shit. And we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2. I mean, it looks like it has a little bit more room to run. You know, maybe this is the extended 5th or the 5th wave. You know, does $35 come next? Possible. It's hard to tell because it's not like it's not as clean as I would like it to be. That's where I'm getting at. Was that Tricky Rick? It's where I'm kind of like it's doable, but it's not as clean. And when I'm looking at charts or investing in stuff, it's like I want to see something really, really clean so I have higher confidence. It just, for me, yes, it technically does have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in the 5th, and then we should expect an ABC down. It's just not as clean as I would like it to be to make targets. Matt said ZBCN to start tomorrow. Yeah, we can do that. I'm in on that, Matt. I'm in on that. I appreciate your patience on that one, but I can do that tonight. That's fine. I can do that. Could you do a quick Bitcoin before you go? Would appreciate. Yeah, let's do ZBCN, and then we'll do a quick Bitcoin recap to end it, and then we'll jump on tomorrow. I think that's a good plan. ZBCN. It's only 8:15. It's fine. I mean, I'm tired, but it's not that bad. ZBCN. Is that USD? Zabak network. Okay, so that one doesn't have too much price action. Let me see if Kraken. Nope. Crypto.com. A little bit more. Bybit. USDT, maybe that one has more. Mexi. Okay, so I'm seeing it look like this. Is this the right chart, Matt? Is this what I'm supposed to be looking at? Does it look something like this? I use crypto chart. I think this, what is this one? This one's the Mexi. The crypto spot one, the spot crypto. Okay, yeah, that one looks okay. So we got something to work with here. All right, so all this is corrective, so that's out the water. That's out the door. So we're not even going to factor that in. Now the question is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that has a 5-wave move on the daily. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, short 5, but it technically validates. Then we have this A, B, and then the C structure. I would say based on this being the start of the impulse of wave 1, if I can get it, geez. This being the 1, And then we're in the two again. We probably see a little bit lower on ZBCN. You know, maybe we come down to these lows here, somewhere in this range. With Bitcoin kind of making its one leg lower, I do think altcoins come down a little bit lower. But I would say somewhere between like 0.01 and 0.02. Somewhere in that like 0.012, 0.01 range would be the next target for me on ZBCN. So somewhere around, you know, this being the wave 1, this being the 2, and then the next target's the 1.618. Somewhere around 0.012. Somewhere around 0.012. Which is a pretty good trade for me. It's like, 10x, something like that? Okay. What's up, healthcare? How's it going? Yeah, again, like I try to trade larger market cap investment, the larger market cap things with more price history. It just makes it easier, right? If you have a chart which has, you know, a year worth of price history, there's a little bit more risk, a little bit more volatile. They're probably lower market cap. There's not as much data to go off of. Whereas you have, you know, Google's, Nvidia's, MSTR, Hood. Like you have things that are higher market cap. You know, obviously they carry financial data for like just in general stocks versus crypto. So there's like an added appeal there, but it still works the same. But things that have longer price history, you know, some fundamentals, things like that, for me, just give me more confidence and conviction when I'm investing in things. Yeah, we're about to jump to Bitcoin, actually, so you joined at the perfect time. We're about to go to Bitcoin to... Can we do PLTR or SoFi? I can show the SoFi. I already have all the stuff. PLTR we can do tomorrow. I'll start with PLTR tomorrow, but SoFi I can jump to. Let's jump to SoFi and then Bitcoin, because SoFi, I have everything on the chart already, so I don't have to like do anything. This is essentially the SoFi chart. Nope. So this is kind of what SoFi looks like. We've already had a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. We've had the pullback forward to almost the 0.618. It bounced perfectly off the 0.618 of the wave 3 fib retracement. So it kind of bounced perfectly off this 0.618 level. My next target for SoFi is... Give me a second. Am I double adding that there? My next target for SoFi is $37. It's already on the chart. That's why I was doing that. So we should see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement like this. Off of the low for the wave 5. Before you go, do a 4 DraftKings. That y'all are killing me with these charts, man. Y'all are killing me with these charts. It takes time to do these things, but no, I totally get it. But for SoFi, we do have a wave 1 through 3. We have a 4, and then we should expect a 5th. Somewhere around $37 is my next target. Until we get these impulsive moves off the low, that could change, but $37 is the high confluence zone. All right, we're going to jump to Bitcoin now. And then tomorrow, we're going to start with PLTR. We're going to start with PLTR tomorrow. And then, what was it, DraftKings? We can do DraftKings tomorrow, too. So, to answer your question, healthcare... yes, that's so far we're actually tracking really well as far as what I'm targeting for Bitcoin. This wave 1 almost came down. Again, this was just rough sketch. We'll see what happens, but it did come down to almost the exact level that I kind of drew it from last week, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we're tracking pretty well, just waiting for more price action, but 60 to 50K still remains the target given the 1 to the 1.618. So that's my next target for Bitcoin. And I'm just waiting. I'm just being patient right now, waiting for Bitcoin to kind of do its thing. And then eventually, once we get this correction, then I'll be dollar cost averaging into that and altcoins. And probably Robinhood and MSTR too. Those look really good. But with that being said, I am a little tired today, so I want to get some rest tonight. Probably go to bed early, and then I will be locked and loaded. Because I want to try to film my first long-form YouTube video tomorrow, too, as long as the construction guys don't get in the way. The construction guys have been here all week, and they're just making so much racket. So filming a YouTube video in here, just hearing banging the whole time, I don't want that. For me, that just doesn't sound professional. So as long as the construction crew get out of here on time, the first long form YouTube video will be filmed tomorrow. Thank you so much. We will bother you tomorrow. Don't worry. Oh, I'm not worried. Come on, bring it on. Let's go. Let's do it. I like that. I appreciate that. But yes, feel free to bother me tomorrow. I'm all for it. Well, let's make some damn money. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we do all this stuff right now, but the end goal is let's make some freaking money, man. But let's be smart about it. Let's be smart about making our investments and then make some money. Bitcoin, we done with wave 4, started wave 5. For me right now, it actually looks like it. So on the 4-hour chart, on the 4-hour chart, it's developing. So even the hourly chart looks a little bit cleaner. But it almost looks like on the hourly, we have a wave 1, 2, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, kind of this 4, and then 5, and then 4, and then we should have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 1. So to me, it does look like we are kind of, let's see, hold on. Let me put this in a chart. On the 4-hour, it almost look, you know, we have this wave 1, wave 2. This is kind of the 3, then the 4, and then we should get a 5th. Now, how low could this potentially go? I mean, it's kind of already there. But for me, yes, I do think we have started the 5th. Based on this price action and how it's going pretty impulsive down, it's not really chopping. We don't see any 3-wave moves. But this could be a zigzag formation, which also is just something to consider. Which would mean if this is an A wave, so let me go to the daily. Basically, a zigzag formation is a 5-wave movement for an A, followed by a 3-wave movement for a B, followed by a 3-wave movement for a C. So all that would mean is we have the W, the X, the Y, and then we have this as an A wave, then we get a B wave, then we get a C wave, and then we get another A, B, C up. So until price action kind of forms, it's hard to tell right now because it's just an initial wave. It could be an A wave, but for me, I do think that this is a wave 1, a wave 2, and then we should get a wave 3. The reason behind that is we already have the W, X, and then the Y. So what comes out of that should be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement down. So I do think we've started, which is great. And it makes sense with where we are at right now because my prediction is we'll probably end this wave 1, you know, over the next couple days. You know, we have this wave 1. We'll probably end that maybe Tuesday. Then we'll get a pullback wave 2 probably over the weekend. And then that'll gear up for an explosive wave 3 down for FOMC. Because if you look at the calendar, we have basically between this zone right here, probably between like the 13th to the 20th. This zone right here, you have the Jerome Powell speech, the FOMC speech, interest rate decision. So you have a lot of like economic and data stuff coming out, which could fuel the fire for wave 3, which is why I do think we are in the impulsive wave down. And this is the initial push 1. We should get a pullback late this week, like maybe Wednesday through Sunday. This week we get a pullback, and then next week we get the impulsive wave drop. Then we'll get a pullback, and then we'll get one more drop. That for me is kind of what's next, but we'll see. Holy cow, 29 roses? That's awesome. Thanks for the rose. That was really cool. Thank you for sharing the live as well. It's unfortunate because I'm about to get off the live, but if you come back tomorrow, I appreciate you. I appreciate the roses. That was cool. Any last questions? Save them for tomorrow. And again, I'll be doing my Bitcoin update. A galaxy, that was cool. Thanks for the galaxy. I don't even know what those are, but that was cool on the screen. How it like did that. That was really cool. So thank you for the Is that Gav's dad? Can we get dubs in the chat for Gav's dad? That was dope. But yeah, I'll do my Bitcoin update tomorrow morning, Gerald. And if I see anything else, like it does look like we're having a green start to this. So this could be an ABC, but we'll see. Just time will tell. Thank you, Nick. Stay safe. Will do. You as well. I will see y'all tomorrow, same time. I'll probably be on maybe a little bit earlier than today. I was like close to like 6:30 today, so I want to try to shoot for maybe going live at like 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, and then we'll cover a lot of different stuff. I got to work with this TikTok live stuff. It's really pissing me off because anytime I stream from my PC, it gives me this like live restriction. Now, when I stream live from my phone, it doesn't give me that, but it's less interactive when I have like my phone and continue to switch back and forth to the charts. But for whatever reason, it gives me these live restrictions on my PC just from streaming from my PC. So I have no idea why it's doing that. I got to reach out to TikTok support and figure that out because it won't push my live out to anyone. It says restricted access, so it won't push my live out. Oh, cool. Have a good rest. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try to get some sleepy time TME today and get a good night's sleep. It was a busy weekend, so I want to get some sleep tonight, and then I will be locked and loaded for tomorrow. Do I like Hennessy? Hennessy Velociraptor? Is that a drink? I've never had that before. I've tried Hennessy before. I do like Hennessy, but I haven't drank cognac in a really long time. It's been since college, but I have some memories on cognac. That was a fun time. I can't lie to you there. All right. With that being said, I will see y'all tomorrow. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday and good start to the week tomorrow. But I will see. It's a truck. Oh well. Now you heard about my Hennessy story from college, or you didn't really hear about it, but I have some memories on Hennessy. It was a good time. I've kind of not drinking it, but I am a truck fan for sure. I do like a truck. My next purchase of a car is going to be a truck, so I'm excited about that. But I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night, and look forward to jumping on the live tomorrow.